Hi guys, my name is Chideha and I own Fitness 3K, which is a personal training and sports performance facility. The purpose of this video is for my ISSA strength and conditioning certification. One of the athletes I plan on working with, come on over here Claire, is Claire Roncallo. She's a high school lacrosse player and her position is attack. Some of the primary muscle groups we plan on working are the trapezius muscle group, the biceps, the triceps. We're going to target the hip flexors, the quadricep, and also the hamstrings. Now those are the primary muscle groups. The supporting muscle groups we're going to work are the posterior and anterior deltoid muscle group, including the gluteus maximus. The purpose of the dynamic warm-up is to enhance blood flow, circulation for the muscle fibers, the tendons, the joints, including the ligaments. And also the purpose is to make the workout more efficient. One of the primary muscle groups we're going to target when you're doing your dynamic warm-up are the hips. And we're going to start off with knee hugs. And the goal is to kind of bring your knee all the way up to your chest, okay? And then you're going to step, switch, bring your other knee up to your chest as well. Make sure your core is tight, nice. Make sure your shoulders are back. Knee up to your chest, step, good. Knee up, good. So now we're going to go into Frankenstein walks. With the Frankenstein walk, you're targeting your hamstrings, which is also one of the primary muscle groups you work in when you're playing lacrosse. Okay, you can touch your opposite toe, opposite hand, good. All right. Then we're going to focus on your quadricep. Like I said earlier, your quadricep is one of the primary muscle groups as well. And your upper and lower abs, but that's one of your supporting muscle groups. So I'm going to have you lunge, okay, weight through the heel, rotate back and forth, get those obliques engaged. Bring your feet together, lunge, weight through the heel, rotate back and forth, feet together, lunge, rotate, feet together, lunge. Good. All right. Right now, I'm going to bring my athlete back in. Claire, if you come back in. She's going to demonstrate the pendulum swings. And as you can see, she has these bands on. Like I said earlier, one of the primary muscle groups that we're going to target is the hips as well. So here you go, Claire. So I'm going to make sure she has a nice neutral spine, okay? She's going to bring it back and forth. We're targeting the trapezius muscle group, the triceps, the biceps, and if she tightens up even more towards the still ball, she'll actually concentrate more on her biceps. So if you could just tighten up a little bit. Here you go, good. So you feel that more in your biceps?
Yeah.
So it looks good. So if she comes back, so back up a little bit, back your hands back. Here you go. And pendulum swing again. And now she's concentrating more on her triceps. So with this exercise, I typically do 3 rounds, and we can do it for about 45 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds, depending on the athlete's fitness level. Right now, she's starting off with a 7-pound steel mace, but they go as far as 10, 15, 25, 30, if you really, for the more advanced athlete. Okay, but right now we're going to start off with a 7-pound steel mace. All right, thank you for demonstrating that. Okay. Next exercise we're going to do are ballistic curls, and this is really good for shoulder mobility, okay? One of the things I'm going to have her do, she's going to have her palm up on one hand and her palm down on the other hand. And she's going to slide it across and let it overlap, okay? Keeping it right at chest level, make sure those elbows are kind of close to her body, keeping a nice neutral spine, core is engaged, okay? Demonstrate. Good job, Claire. And as you can see, as she's switching her hand, she's even concentrating on her bicep muscles as well. And remember, like I said, those are one of the primary muscle groups that are used when she's playing lacrosse. And to add another dynamic to it, I'm going to have her go into a squat as she's doing it, because we really want to activate those hip flexors. There you go. Make sure the weight's through the heels, neutral spine. Make sure these are not going past your toes. Looks good. And same thing, we're going to do this on the clock as well. And typically I do 3 rounds, 45 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds, depending on the athlete's fitness level. For Claire, I'll probably do 45 seconds. Yeah. The next exercise we're going to demonstrate with the still mace is the rebel press. You're going to squat, keeping the weight through your heels, neutral spine, and you're going to keep your palms in, and you're going to turn as you're coming up from that squat position, okay? And the thing about the rebel press, the further your hand is away from the still mace bow, the more it concentrates on your forearm, your wrist, which is very important for lacrosse, okay? So I'm going to have Claire demonstrate the rebel press. And she's still keeping the band on because you still want to keep those hips activated, okay? So your palm is going to be facing, okay? And you go from the squat position, weight through the heels, neutral spine, come up, and twist as you come up. And we're going to do about 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps on each side. There you go, good. And we're activating those shoulder blades, okay? When you're swinging that lacrosse stick, a lot of those shoulder blades, like I said, the trapezius muscle, the latissimus dorsi, the triceps, are all being activated, okay, when we're doing this. And you can rest. Thank you. Now I'm going to have Claire take off the band because we're going to do some exercises, with the lacrosse stick. Okay, come back in. Now show me, I want to see how you swing a lacrosse stick in the game. Okay, now you see that? One of the things I like about this still mace is that it's very sport specific, okay? And it adds another dynamic, it adds power to her swing. So when you do this, what I want you to do is, I want you to come over and do a side chop. Coming across your body, like I said, concentrate on the triceps, the oblique muscles, the secondary, supporting muscle groups are being activated, okay? Traps, latissimus dorsi, quadriceps, okay? So I want you to step and do a side chop. There you go. Step back. See, as she's doing this, like I said, there are a lot of different muscle groups being activated, and it's very sport specific and will enhance her performance on the field. Good job. And make sure, like I said, just keeping the weight through her heels, knees not going past the toe, because one of the most important things is injury prevention, okay? Not only do we want to enhance an athlete's performance on the field, we want to make sure the athlete is safe and there are no injuries. Okay. And you can rest. The next muscle group we're going to focus on, which I said earlier is a primary muscle group, is the bicep. Now this is a 7-pound still mace. I think it'll be a little too light for Claire, but what I'm going to use is the 10-pound still mace. And with the bicep curl with the still mace, keeping your elbows close to your body, legs slightly bent. Okay, nice neutral spine, shoulders back. And I'm just going to have her do 10 to 15 reps. Okay, with one arm. Most of the weight is on the ball of the still mace. Then I'm going to have her switch sides. Okay, there you go. Legs shoulder width apart. Nice neutral spine. You can kind of slow it, bring it down, a little slower. Good. Slow and controlled. Make sure we're really activating those bicep muscles. That's good. Make sure the core is being engaged. We really want to focus on the core as well. And now I'm going to have you switch sides. Elbows close to your body. Palms up. There we go. And slow it down. Just a little bit closer. And your legs just a little bit. Good. And then I'm going to have you rest. All right, before we start, I'm going to take off this jacket and demonstrate what we're going to do for muscular endurance and conditioning. What I'm going to have Claire do is hand walks through the agility ladder. Okay? And this is mostly for body resistance. Okay? It targets a lot of the primary and supporting muscle groups that we talked about earlier. Okay? And this is going to be sort of the pattern where she walks out, walks over to the side, comes up, and she's going to lead with the right arm the whole time as she's going through. But as she's coming back, she's going to lead with her left arm. Okay? So Claire, I'm going to have you demonstrate. Good job. And like I said, we're targeting a lot of different muscle groups that are being activated when she's playing lacrosse. And this will help sustain that endurance that she needs. And I'm going to have you stop for a second, Claire. First of all, look at how her back is nice and flat. That way the core is really being engaged. And we want to make sure we maintain good posture, okay, and good form while she's doing this exercise. Go ahead and continue. And stop. And like I said, as she's moving her feet from side to side, she's actually engaging those hips as well, okay? All right, next exercise we're going to do is a speed and agility exercise through the agility ladder. We did the hand walks out earlier for the upper body and your torso. Now we're going to focus on the lower body as well. What I'm going to have her do is cross through the ladder, 1 foot in, 2 feet out, and she's going to turn those hips so that those obliques are engaged, staying on the balls of her feet. Okay? And this really focuses on quickness and speed. Okay, and when she's cutting on the lacrosse field, it's imperative that she really maintains good form. And go ahead and start. See how she's staying on the balls of her feet? And stop. Good. Now come back. So I'm going to have you back pedal back. Cross over again. And this helps, like I said, for the hip flexors, which is good for that lateral movement. Back pedal back. Now we're going to switch to 2 feet in, 2 feet out. Okay? And go. Targeting those hip flexors again. Fast feet. Back pedal back. We're going to do it again. And this is another exercise we can do 3 rounds, 1 minute, just depending on the fitness level of the athlete. Back pedal back. Okay. Really make sure she has good arm movement as well. Good. Because a lot of the speed comes from your arms as well. Back pedal back. And rest. Okay. I've been certified with ISSA for nearly 15 years now, but I'm also a certified boxing coach. And one of the things I like to do is implement a boxing workout with each athlete's workout regimen. Okay? One of the things with Claire I'm going to do today is we're going to do some combinations as well as some defensive moves. So I'm going to have Claire put on these boxing gloves. And we're going to do some combinations. The good thing about boxing, you know, if you guys don't know, boxers are some of the most well-conditioned athletes in the world. And that's one of the reasons why I like to implement boxing's, workouts into each client's session. The main thing about boxing is I like the fact that it requires a lot of balance, okay, and footwork, which is something she can transfer over to on the lacrosse field. So we're going to do combinations first. She's going to have her left leg out in front, okay? Just make sure she has good posture. Hands are up, left hand right below her left eye, right hand right by her cheek, okay? Body's going to be turned kind of sideways, okay? So right now she's in the proper form. We're going to do combinations, so we're going to do 1 through 6. So she's going to go jab, right cross, hook, uppercut, cross. We're even going to add in some defensive moves too. So she's going to duck, slip, okay? And keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, duck, slip. And I like to at least do 3 rounds with each client. Okay? Depending on what the exercise is, I can add to the difficulty have them running through the ladders, adding some combinations. But I like to kind of mix it up and make sure we have that muscle confusion and make the workout as effective as possible. So like I said, so you can transfer it to the field and use some of the technique, use some of the boxing to our advantage. Okay, let's do one more round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, duck, slip. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Good. One more time. Slip. Good job. And like I said, I do 3 to 5 rounds. It kind of depends on which client, you know, and depending on their fitness level. But like I said, I like to try to mix it up and add something new to the workout. The last exercise we're going to do is a core exercise, and we're going to focus on V-ups, which is a really good core exercise for the supporting muscle groups of the upper and lower abdominal muscle. I'm going to grab a mat, and I'm going to have Claire demonstrate some of the exercises. Okay? So the medicine ball is going to start from behind your head, legs will be flat, okay? And you're going to reach up in your leg, and you're going to kind of form a V. So your leg and your arms are basically going to meet at the same time so that your body is actually forming a V, and you're targeting your lower and upper abs, okay? And you're going to come back down, and then we're going to switch legs. Core is nice and tight. All right, so I'm going to have Claire demonstrate. Good. And see how our body forms a V? Really getting those lower and upper abs. And these will really be effective when she's out on the lacrosse field. Okay? Turning those corners, making those cuts. Good job, Claire. So right now we're using about a 10-pound medicine ball, and if you really want to make it more difficult, you can advance up to a 12, 15, well, whatever your client needs. And you can rest. One of the things I like to do for a cool down is stretch out each client or athlete, okay? We try to stretch out all the different muscle groups we just worked, because remember, injury prevention is very important, and the cool down process is just as important as a dynamic warm-up, the strength training, and all the other exercises. We want to cool that body down. So we're going to start off with the hamstrings first. Try to press on the foot, try to get those hamstrings, calf muscles, all those muscle groups we just worked. We have her turn her foot in, so we get the hip flexors as well. Making sure she's breathing. Inhale through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Try to relax. Good. Bring it across your body, stretching out that lower back as well. We're going to switch legs. Try to do the same thing. Okay. Stretch the hips out on the opposite side as well. Now we're going to bring both knees in to her chest, okay? And typically we do about 3 reps of each exercise. Depending on which exercise it is, I kind of incorporate the clock. You stretch your shoulder blades out as well. You know, some exercises are reps, some exercises I use the clock, just depending on what it is. Like the agility ladder, obviously we would use the clock. But depending on the client's fitness level, I try to make sure that I either go 30 to 45 seconds or even a minute, just depending on which client it is and what their fitness level is. So for Claire, I typically do a minute with each exercise. And as far as the reps, we usually do typically 12 to 15 reps with the strength training. So, you really want to bring those shoulders back and really stretch those shoulders back, because we activated a lot of different muscle groups up here. So it's imperative, like I said, you want to stretch out the full body and do a really good cool down. So good job today, Claire. Thank you for participating. ISSA, I'd like to thank you guys for all the knowledge you've provided through the years. I've actually been very successful. I started off as a regular trainer, and now I'm a business owner, and I've been in business for almost 12 years. Thanks to your guidance and help, I appreciate everything, and I look forward to getting my strength and conditioning certification. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.